The You're Gonna Love This or Not podcast contains harsh language and may not be suitable for younger listeners.
Why would you answer this call? Why would you answer this call? Why?
Hello? Hey, man, how's it going? Oh, fuck. Oh, come on, you sound like you're disappointed to hear from me. I mean, a little bit. You would think going into the third year, that might hurt my feelings a little bit. I think after all this time, your feelings have got pretty used to me. Yeah, you're right. I don't care. Anyhow, you coming over for movie night? Well, I'm not coming to anybody's house for movie night because there's a pandemic going on right now. Okay, well, remote movie night. Yeah. It's not like I got anything else to do. I'll tell you what, man. I picked a really good one here. I doubt it. This movie has 3 Best Actor Oscar winners in it. Okay. Multiple BAFTAs. Tons of famous 70s and 80s cast members. Yeah, I wasn't alive in the 70s, so I don't know those people probably. Come on, man. It's Volcanuary. You can't miss out on this. Oh, Volcanuary? Really? Yeah. Hey, we had Sharktember. I've got a feeling we're going to have Volbruary, too. Don't ruin my stuff a month before I spring it on the public. All right. Well, I guess we'll watch whatever shitty volcano movie that you're going to make me watch. Oh, you're going to love it, dude. I doubt it. All right. See you there. All right.
It's a new year of You're Gonna Love This or Not, and Matt hasn't ran out of movies to show Josh. This month, they're once again joined by producer Mike to watch the 1980 disaster film When Time Ran Out. This star-studded disaster film involves a South Pacific resort island, a volcano, and people who would be anti-maskers in today's society. Will the crew want to join the escapees to live, or will they just want to end it all with the deniers? Let's listen to the trailer and then find out.
There's not going to be any evacuation.
Another non-believer. Won't they ever learn? Only this guy's problem is a small matter of a very active volcano.
This needs a powder keg. Well, I think that's a damned irresponsible conclusion on your part.
Oh well, then perhaps there's still time for a little passion in paradise. That's some kiss. Passion that really sparks. But this sucker makes Mount St. Helens look like a kid's sparkler.
Well, I think that's a damned irresponsible conclusion on your part.
You said that already. Paul Newman, Jacqueline Bissett, William Holden, James Franciscus, Alex Karras, Pat Morita. Excuse me. Don't we have any other explosions? Thank you. Burgess Meredith and Hill Street's Veronica Hamill. They were all having a good time when time ran out.
Matt, you son of a bitch.
Oh, come on, man. It's
This
not
thing was
the word.
a steaming pile of molten shit.
I would go with the steaming pile of molten lava.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the greatest movie on earth, but it is
It was
definitely
just
a
so
movie that was
boring.
made. It wasn't okay.
Like,
So-
it's like you just keep picking these movies that are like super boring, and I'm just like,
You watched a movie that was 104 minutes long. What if I told you this same movie, when it was out on VHS, had 40 extra minutes in it?
I don't think I would have been able to make it.
I can't imagine what that is. It's basically the TV cut got released on VHS with all kinds of stuff added in. And like this movie seems never ending in the theatrical cut.
Yeah, I've watched The Neverending Story. This is more never-ending than that.
Oh, but this is an Irwin Allen classic.
I don't know who Irwin Allen is. You keep bringing
Irwin.
up all these names of all these people, and I have no idea who they are. I'm not old like you, remember?
Oh God, Irwin Allen.
I'm
was
the young
king.
flavor to this podcast.
He was the
I'm the-
king of the 70s disaster movie. The dude
Well,
produced the Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, these huge movies in the 70s.
the king is dead.
Well, this movie basically killed his career.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. After this, his studio contract got canceled, and yeah.
Anyways, we should probably introduce our guest today. It's totally a guest we've never had before. We have no idea who he is, but oh wait, we do. It's Mike from the Comic Carnival. I can't talk. Comic Carnival podcast.
Now who people are going to make
real
fun of for
lives.
maybe they're drunk and maybe they're not.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I haven't even drank this time. That's the funny part.
Anyway,
Yeah, if you had been drinking, you would have enjoyed this movie way more, Josh.
Welcome, Mike. I'm glad you
Hi,
are
guys.
still subjecting yourself to these terrible movies.
I didn't think I had a choice. Now that I know that I might,
Don't let him know he has a choice.
Oh, okay.
He totally has a choice. Matt, I won't. Mike, I like you too much to subject you to bad movies. I'm not Matt.
I will say, just remember that without Irwin Allen, we might not have the movie Airplane.
Well, I've still never seen that movie.
You've never seen Airplane?
We had this conversation like once every 3 podcasts.
I must blank it out because it's just so incredulous that.
Have you ever heard of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea?
No.
Lost in Space.
Yes. Isn't
Lost
that
in
Danger
Space
Will Robinson?
was Irwin Allen.
Is it Danger Will Robinson?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yep.
I actually forgot that he had done the Poseidon Adventure. The Irwin Allen did the Poseidon Adventure. And so as we're watching this movie, I'm like, it's like somebody saw the Poseidon Adventure and said, let's just do that on an island.
But that's every Irwin Allen movie.
Yeah, I know. And I'm realizing that as I'm,
I mean, hell, they all have half the same cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it like Tim Burton, how he puts Johnny Depp in every movie possible?
Yeah, pretty much. Ernest Borgnine is in all those movies, I think. William Holden, I think, is in, well, I know he's in Towering Inferno. James Franciscus, I think, is in Avalanche.
Yeah, you can just keep naming
done
actors.
Avalanche, haven't we? Didn't we do that one?
I think MST3K did Avalanche last year, the year before. I don't know. I haven't.
We've not done Avalanche.
Like
I would have remembered.
But yeah. But yeah, this movie is a real stinker. And
now we get to do the recap of it.
Go for it, man.
All right. So I'm gonna admit it was hard to pay attention to this movie. So I'm probably gonna skip around a lot because that's definitely
can't follow
not
40 separate plot lines.
I would never skip around in a movie. So, anyways, so this movie, so basically the movie starts with this guy looks like he's on some like outer space planet, like the moon or something, which isn't a planet. I get that, it's a satellite, but like he's got like this space suit thing on. And he's holding this thing, so I thought it was gonna be like a sci-fi spacey movie, and I was like, okay, even cheesy bad space movies are okay. Like, I mean, they exist. But then, like, he's just kind of walking around, and then you, like, see a helicopter, and then you're like, well, he's definitely not in space, because there's a helicopter, and helicopters don't fly in space. And then come to find out he was, like, walking around the crater of a volcano or something, which is totally not foreshadowing for the rest of this movie or anything. And so he just kind of walks around, and he goes back, and he's kind of concerned, because he's like, the readings are kind of weird. But then the other guy's like, nah, they're fine. You're just being like overly cautious. Like, just it's no big deal. Like, everything's fine. I mean, and so then like he tells them that the guest, I guess the owner of the island or resort or I don't know, the guy with the money. He's like, yeah, he showed up, so we're gonna have to have a meeting with him later. And so they end up having a meeting with him later, and he walks in, them talking about the issues, and he's just like, no, it's fine. He's just being the original worrywart or whatever. And then there's like a scene where they're like also drilling for oil on this island, because drilling oil for oil on an island with an active volcano seems like a really good idea. I mean, why not drill into the earth and cause the volcano to explode? That would be great. So like they're drilling for oil, and then like they hit this pocket, and this one guy's like, you know what, we shouldn't be doing this because I'm like really concerned because like the readings are really off. But then everybody's like, no, we need to make money, so let's just keep drilling because money is more important than the lives of everybody on this island, because who cares about them? I got kids to put in college or something. I don't know, whatever his bullshit excuse was. And so like the movie just kind of progresses, and there's a lot of like love quad something. Like it's not like a love triangle, because like this one guy's involved with like 7 different women or something. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. but like none of them knows about the other one, so he's just kind of being a jerk. Like he's not being like the right way to do all this, and so he just kind of has all these women that he kisses. Even Matt at one point says, if he's going to continue kissing different women, I'm gonna have to drink more because it's just getting ridiculous. And so, like this one guy, he's like really like he's the guy that originally was like nothing's a big deal, so it's all okay, everything's gonna be fine. And then so then we get all these other love interests together, and then there's a bunch of actors that are apparently really famous that keep showing up that I don't know who they are, but Mike and Matt have convinced me they're famous. So this movie apparently has like 12 leading roles or something like that. So it's like an Ocean's movie or some crap. And so like there's all this stuff going on. They're always kind of just hanging out and do stuff, and then all of a sudden, surprise, surprise, the volcano erupts. Oh no! And there's like a bunch of innuendos in there somewhere too. And then those volcano erupts, and so they like these two people were on the beach and they were like having dinner and or whatever else, having a picnic, and so they get in the helicopter and they fly back and they're like, "Hey, the volcano's erupting, so we should go save some people." So they stop first and save this, I guess the ranch hand and his kids and some other people, but like to get all the kids inside and everybody else, and then they tell the two guys to like stand on the skis or whatever of the helicopter. It's called something else. I don't remember what it's called, but so they're flying up, like the helicopter can like barely take off because there's too much weight, and then like the helicopter finally takes off, and the guy's like, "Well, when we fly towards the volcano, the air quality is gonna be really bad, so it's gonna be really bad on the helicopter." Again, not foreshadowing at all. So like they're flying over, and then like the kid's dad like falls off the helicopter and then dies. So now we have two orphans because that's a good way to get a movie going. And then they get back to the hotel and they try to warn everybody. And then, of course, the one guy who's just like, not a big deal, even after the volcano erupts, is still like, no, it's not a big deal. There's also a scene where like there was a town with a hospital in it and it flooded somehow with the tidal wave and it killed a bunch of working women and a bunch of other people died. And so like they give it a hotel and there's still like probably, I don't know, like 200 or 300 people in this hotel, and they land, and then like they're like, well, the boats will be here tomorrow at noon, so it'll be fine. But then the other guy's like, no, like we got to get off the island fast on this. So then like everybody like rushes towards the helicopter, and like they're fighting and everything else, and like they're jumping on it, and like people like hanging off it, and there's like all this extra weight, and then the helicopter just crashes into a mountain. When I mean, clearly the helicopter could have gone over the ocean, which would have made more sense, but no, crashing into the side is the better idea. So now the helicopter's gone, and a bunch of people are dead again. And so then the volcano just continues to erupt, and then one guy's like, "Hey, there's actually a way out of here. There's a place we can go to. We'll be safe. We should drive over there." And so he like tries to get as many people as possible to go with him. But then the other guy, who's like really charismatic, convinces everybody that it's totally fine and that nothing's going to happen, and everybody's just freaking out for no reason. And like COVID will totally be over by April or some shit, which this was the last year, but that we saw that wasn't true. And so then like the volcano keeps erupting and stuff, and like the one group of people, there's probably, I don't know, 15, 20 of them are going down this road trying to get away from the volcano because there's like these lava tunnels they can get to save themselves or whatever else. And they're driving along and everything's just fine, and they're driving and you're like, oh yay, they're gonna get there, and then all of a sudden landslide and like it takes out the road. And so they climb over this like giant rock pile, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's fine. There's a small ledge. We'll all just walk across." And so, so also something else happened when the fire exploded and burned some guy's eye, so he was blind, and they had the blind guy with them. So they're gonna take the blind guy across the small ledge, which kept changing in sizes weirdly as we were watching the movie. Like it was really thin, then not really thin, and then like some of it collapsed, but it's still the same size. And like these other kids were with them, and like the other person that was responsible for these kids also dies, so I guess now they're really orphans. I don't know, I didn't really pay too much attention to that part. It was kind of weird. And so like they crawl across this ledge and get to the other side, and they're like walking through the jungle, and everything seems like it's okay again because everybody's gonna be fine because they're walking through the jungle and they're almost where they need to go. And then they come to this, of course, old rickety wooden bridge because we've never seen that plot device before. And the one guy's like, "Well, let me cross it first to see how it is." So he like slowly crosses it, and like pushes down, and some boards fall. And then he takes like the world's lightest step, and then almost falls to the bridge, even though like he barely touched it. It was kind of crazy. And so then the bridge, like, that breaks there too. And then, like, he gets all across. It's like, all right, it's fine. So, like, their next thought process after one guy crossed and part of the bridge collapsed was like, let's send 3 people at the same exact time because that will end well. And so they sent 3 people across, one of them being the blind guy who's much heavier than the other guy. And then, like, this older guy, which he's been chasing this entire movie because he's a police detective from a sergeant of detectives from New York, and he's trying to catch this guy in some, I don't know, Ponzi scheme or some crap. And but so the guy is trying to get caught the entire time. He's trying to, like, help this guy across, and there's another guy, and they're, like, trying to lift him up, and then they, like, fall through the bridge, and then they help pull him up. Like, pretty much half of this movie is spent on this bridge. It's like this movie's 102 minutes long, and I'm pretty sure 51 of those minutes was spent just on the bridge. And so they're, like, crossing this bridge, and, like, they finally get those guys across, and then they get some more people across, and the bridge continues to collapse, and then the kids run away because they're scared, and so then they have to go find the kids, and then some more people cross the bridge, and then Mr. Miyagi dies, which is really sad. Like, he falls into the lava, which leaves his wife, widow now, and she's trying to take care of these kids. And then, like, so they're all across the bridge, and they finally go find these kids. And then there was, like, this thing earlier about this guy who's a really good tightrope walker, but he's, like, at least 80 now. And so, like, his brilliant idea is to, like, just the very last part of the bridge that's left is, like, this really thin thing. So he, like, goes into the jungle and finds this really long bamboo stick and uses his little balancing, and he puts one of the kids on his back, and then, like, he walks them across. And then the other guy's like, well, he did it, so I totally can do it too, even though this is definitely metal over lava and really, really, really hot. So he doesn't like the tightrope thing. He kind of, like, just crawls across it in a way, like, feet on the bottom part, hands on the top part with the kid. And then, of course, halfway through, he also falls. And then the tightroper guy has to, like, go out and, like, get the kid and, like, rescue and get him out. And then, like, they finally get across, and then, like, they get to the tunnels that they need to get. And as while they're at the tunnels, they saw the volcano explode more and kill all the people that were left back in the hotel. And I'm, like, really sad about it. But if you think about it, if all the people from the hotel also would have come, there is no way that bridge scene would have taken less than 4 hours, and they never would have made it. And so then and the lady who lost her husband, who is Mr. Miyagi, she's like, well, I always wanted a family, so now I'm just going to adopt these kids. And then, like, they get to the end, and that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, well, you did miss, like, probably a good half the movie in there, but that's okay because this movie is so long and follows so many plot lines.
Yeah, but
nobody
I'm just this is a Cliff's Notes version of this movie.
I know,
okay?
I know. There's just so much happening in this movie constantly because it has so many people you're supposed to be keeping track of.
Josh, one of these days I'm going to make you watch Solaris so that you can tell me all of the stuff that happens in it, because I've never been able to sit through that movie all the way through.
Oh, dude, I want to hear him do Interstellar.
I think I saw Interstellar. I don't know.
A quick question for you guys. Can either of you name any characters from this movie? Their character names?
No. Oh, no, that's not true.
Webster.
Yes.
Webster.
That's
I remember Webster.
You remember Webster. Okay. So, yeah, it took you that long to come up with one character's name from this movie. It's just because there are so many different characters in this movie we're supposed to know about.
And you don't care about any of them.
Yeah, you have. Well, I don't know. Paul Newman's character and Jacqueline Bisset.
I mean, I cared about the kids.
Jacqueline Bisset because right.
I cared about the kids.
Because I'm of the age where Jacqueline Bisset was the bee's knees.
Bees don't have knees.
Did you just use the term bee's knees?
Well, yeah. Isn't that
how
what
old are you?
Sorry, I thought I was hip.
You were definitely not hip.
I thought I was with it. I've been wearing my clothes backwards and rapping and stuff. Oh, God. Anyhow, this movie came out in 1980. Rotten Tomatoes, 0% critic score. Not because they don't have any reviews, because every review they have is bad. 20% audience score.
And yet,
understandable.
Wow.
this movie.
That's a low audience score
Yeah,
even for
that's
us.
low even for us. But that's because this movie is
That
borderline
means even the people that
actually not
purposely
fun.
wanted to watch this movie still hated it.
Yeah, pretty much. Letterboxd 2.2 stars, which that's most movies we watch are right down the middle between 2 and 3. IMDb 4.6, same. The gross on this movie for its domestic run, well, its international run as well, $3,763,988, which would be great for a movie in 1980 had the budget not been $20 million.
You realize what this is, right? This movie was a tax dodge from front to back.
I'm not sure about that, man. I think this movie was Irwin Allen is the king and he can never do any wrong. And they brought in a super mega all-star cast that cost them just tons and tons and tons of dough. I mean,
like you said, 3 Oscar-winning actors, and Borgnine had his already, right? Newman had his already.
Had his. Newman did not have his yet.
He did not have his?
No, he didn't win his till 86 for, was it The Color of Money?
I thought he had one for...
I don't think he won one for Cool Hand Luke.
No, that's not right.
The Sting?
Thank you.
I don't think so. He may have been nominated. He got nominated something like 17 times or something. But yeah, I don't think he won one until his Tom Cruise movie. But anyhow,
that's a crying shame right there.
Yeah, it's apparent in this movie all the money went to the cast and none of it went to anything else. On Amazon, 76% of people gave it 5 stars. I don't get that compared to the others, but whatever. And again, this was
5 out of 100, or
that's full on 5 stars, perfect movie.
Those people are stoned.
Wow.
Maybe, or they're just the Ernest Borgnine fan club,
the Irwin Allen fan club.
Yeah, like I said, Irwin Allen.
You are correct. Paul Newman did not win his Best Actor. He only won one Best Actor, and it was in The Color of Money. Yeah,
but he's got nominations out there. Yang yang. This movie killed Irwin Allen's career. After this, he did some TV movies and maybe 1 or 2 theatrical ones that weren't real big. But this movie is based on I believe, a nonfiction book about the 1902 eruption of Mount Pelée on Martinique. By the time all the rewrites and everything are done, I don't know if you noticed, there are 4 lines about Pelée in this movie. And this movie has nothing to do with that at all, other than there's a volcano. Let's see here. Oh, what else we got here? Irwin Allen, after this movie, got a Lifetime Achievement Golden Raspberry Award, something I didn't even know existed. You guys feel free to chip in and say anything here about anything.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, so I'm just going to let you ramble along as I normally do.
How many Golden Raspberries have there been? I mean, is that a thing that they've given out to, or is that something you just gave to Irwin Allen?
I
a Lifetime Achievement Award? One. I don't know if there's any that's Golden Raspberry Lifetime Achievement Awards. That's an interesting thing to look up.
Yeah. I don't know. But I know someone who's in this movie that never got a Golden Raspberry, and that's Paul fucking Newman.
Well, even though this movie was terrible, he was putting in the work.
I was going to say, out of all the cast, like every scene he was in, he was good. Like Ernest, he committed to everything. He didn't look out of place in anything. It was just weird.
He wasn't there just to cash the check. He probably was in at the very beginning when most of the movie was about Pelée.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably, yeah. But, yeah. And for people who don't know who Paul Newman is, Doc Hudson, Cool Hand Luke, Butch Cassidy, has an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, 3 Golden Globe Awards, an Emmy. And the salary from this movie is what he used to start Newman's Own. So this movie wasn't all bad.
I got salad dressing out of it.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about here. I mean, you keep going about all your facts and stuff.
You don't know anything about Paul Newman?
He made salsa.
He made salsa. That's right.
I think.
That's right. You think?
Yeah, did he like sing
Big
songs?
fan of race cars.
Yeah, he was a race car driver, team owner.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Paul Newman. Not really my.
Oh man, there is a great documentary on Netflix, or I think it's on Amazon, maybe. It might be Netflix, called Winning, which he was in a movie called Winning in the 70s about race car driving.
Thank you. I couldn't come
And
up with
that's
the name
what
of that
got
movie.
him to start race car driving. But the documentary is about his actual career in race car driving, and it was phenomenal. Like, he was just a natural talent, won all kinds of races on his
He's
own.
one of those once in a lifetime, once in a generation kind of people that he can, everything he touches is just better with him in it.
Amazing. Let's see, his love interest in this, Jacqueline Bisset. Peak Jacqueline Bisset. Perfect.
You have to figure somebody like Jacqueline Bisset probably signed on to this movie because Paul Newman was on the movie.
That's definitely possible. But at this point, she was known for being in The Deep, which leads to a great quote in the movie Armageddon that I'm not going to get into. She's in the movie Bullet. She got a Golden Globe nomination. So, holding her own in this movie.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Yeah. William Holden, who played Shelby, had his Oscar and an Emmy at this point. Was in Stalag 17, Sunset Boulevard. And, fun fact, he was pissed all through this movie. I don't know. I noticed in the scenes where they were together in the beginning, he kept shooting dirty looks at Paul Newman. And I think that's probably because there was real life beef between them on the set, because William Holden did not like being second billed to Paul Newman. So, anyhow.
Yeah, but who's going to first bill Paul Newman? Because he's so great.
Yeah, Paul Newman was Paul Newman. I mean, he was huge then.
And I know Paul Newman from Road to Perdition.
Yeah, Road to Perdition was great. Yeah.
One of my favorite Tom Hanks movies.
If you think about it, in the late 70s, early 80s, Paul Newman was to that as like Tom Cruise is to, the late 80s, early 90s, into the 90s, or like a Will Smith, or, one of those people that if you put them in the marquee, people will show up.
Yeah, every director wanted to work with him as well. And his career is pretty hard to beat. Red Buttons. You know Red Buttons. You have to know Red Buttons, Josh.
I don't know who Red Buttons is.
He was in Pete's Dragon.
Okay, that was a cartoon.
Oh.
How would I recognize Red Buttons in a cartoon?
You haven't seen Pete's Dragon?
Wasn't that...
Just the dragon was the cartoon, and the rest of it was live action.
I don't know if I've seen Pete's Dragon then. I'm thinking Puff the Magic Dragon.
Oh, my. Okay,
yeah.
Alex Karras.
It's been a long time since I've seen Pete's Dragon, too.
I probably have seen Pete's Dragon. It's been a long time. Do I know? I keep explaining to you. I don't know the name of these actors. I'm not a big nerd about that kind of stuff like you guys are. Like, I would never play the movie actor game with you guys. I would get crushed.
But you have to know Alex Karras. He was Webster's dad.
I never watched Webster.
Okay, Mongo and Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Blazing Saddles, though.
It's so weird that they're the same person.
Yeah, I know. When that realization clicked in my head when I was a kid that Webster's dad was Mongo, that messed with me.
Wasn't he the detective that was blind in this movie?
That was Ernest Borgnine. Yeah.
Oh,
but Alex Karras, 4-time Pro Bowler and Hall of Famer from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you.
You don't do football either, huh?
Matt,
Not
one
that
of these
old
times
football.
we're going to have to do Black Hole just so we can get Tony to be on the show.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, but when did he play the Detroit Lions? Back in the 70s?
60s, yeah.
Okay, I was negative 22 years old.
He wrestled here in Indianapolis a few times.
Yeah, I don't really watch wrestling either.
Okay. Burgess Meredith. You have to know Burgess Meredith.
I don't know who Burgess Meredith is.
Have you seen Grumpy Old Men?
A long time ago.
Okay, that he's the oldest of the Grumpy Old Men.
Okay.
He's the dad. Yeah.
Have I seen what?
Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky.
Yes.
He's Mickey and Rocky.
That doesn't mean I know who his name is.
Okay. He's the Penguin on Batman. Another super huge famous role.
That was Danny DeVito.
No, we're talking about Adam West Batman.
I'm not that much older than you, dude.
You really are, though.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, he was in a really great episode of The Twilight Zone as well, called Time Enough at Last. That gets played up it gets spoofed a lot.
There was time now.
Time Enough at Last.
Yeah, I just had
Crunch.
other things to do when I was a teenager and in my early 20s than to study movie knowledge.
Okay. So did you know Ernest Borgnine at all before this movie?
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, he was the blind guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he won his Oscar for a movie called Marty.
I've never heard that movie for my entire life.
I honestly have to say I've never seen it. I've heard it's quite good. When I was a kid, he was pretty big because he was on a show called Airwolf.
Okay.
Also has a Golden Globe and a BAFTA.
McHale's Navy was a big one for him too, right?
Oh yeah, he was in that. Was it McHale's Navy or the other one? There were two.
I mean, I'm still trying to get myself to watch 12 Angry Men because
I think
Mike
it was
loves it
McHale.
so much.
Okay.
And I want to watch it because of that, but I haven't had time.
Okay. Do you know Pat Morita?
I do know Pat Morita
There we go.
because he's
Because he's in a Weezer video.
No, because he's Mr. Miyagi.
Yep. He's from the Karate Kid, Happy Days, and the Weezer video for Buddy Holly.
Yeah, like of course I know Karate Kid. Now that was a big portion of my life. I mean, that was.
I saw the Karate Kid before I ever saw an episode of Happy Days, and to see him show up on Happy Days blew my mind.
Yeah, same here. He was Arnold, wasn't he? Right?
Yeah.
Arnold was his name?
Yeah.
I believe so. He was
It's
the guy
crazy seeing him be much younger.
Yes. And without the accent. I
Yep,
didn't know that wasn't a real accent.
Yep.
Mr. Miyagi voice is a put on.
Yeah, he's all California-y. Okay.
And when I was a kid, I had no idea.
Like, I'm really sad that he's dead because I would love to see him in Cobra Kai.
That is true.
Like, the fact that he's dead
but
makes
I'm
me
not sure
sad.
that show would work if you were still around, honestly.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right. I have one more cast member from this movie. I know you're familiar with his work, Josh. Does the name James Franciscus ring a bell for you?
Nope.
How about The Valley of Guanji? I've mentioned it on the podcast before.
Never heard of it.
Jonathan Livingston Seagull?
Nope.
How about a little movie called The Last Shark?
Stop it.
That's right. The main bad guy in this movie is the main good guy in The Last Shark.
I did not even put that together. I'm not gonna lie.
I knew you hadn't. You didn't mention it the whole time. I was wondering if you were ever going to
I'm trying to block out The Last Shark completely from my memory forever because
The thing is, this movie, 1980, The Last Shark, 81. So there's a possibility he just filmed these back to back.
Wow. So he did 2 shit shows back to back.
He went from a $20 million budget to I don't know, a $2.50
$20 budget. Yeah, it's a $20 budget.
Probably was just still down in Hawaii.
Well, I think they shot it in Italy and it looked like Georgia or South Carolina. That's it. It was in South Carolina because there were Confederate flags and shit.
That's right.
Oh. But anyhow, he went from a movie with Paul Newman and William Holden, Ernest Borgnine to, that movie.
Being the only recognizable name in it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no, because it was Vic Morrow, who was kind of a has-been at that point, trying to bring his career back with his weird disappearing Scottish accent. But I digress. Those are all the cast members in this movie that I cared to write down.
But there were more.
Oh, way more. The cast list for this is like 60 or 70 people long and named characters.
Yeah,
this movie...
they have all the star power, and they still can't make a good movie. I mean...
Yeah. Oh, here's something I don't understand. They have A-list actors put in B- performances and make a D+ movie.
Yeah.
But that's the story of this movie because I'm not sure if they just couldn't afford anybody else, but the director of this movie is James Goldstone, who just basically directed a lot of TV and TV movies. Now, I don't understand why you would have a blockbuster cast and an effects-heavy movie and bring a dude who directed a couple episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah, just throw Steven Spielberg in there and just make this movie good.
Spielberg in 80 doing a disaster movie? That would have been amazing.
Why not? I mean...
When was Jaws?
75? 7?
So it would have been right in his wheelhouse still.
Yeah. He'd have been doing something. He'd have been working on something, though. I'm trying to think. Raiders, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be.
But yeah, there's no excuse for this movie being as bad as it is. I'll get into the writers later. There's just an amazing amount of money involved in this movie for a 1980 movie with special effects that look like they were done by my 6-year-old with construction paper. I mean, they are bad. The miniatures look like they came from, cast-offs from other TV sets. The worst one, I think, is the elevator. It looks like, I'm not even sure how to describe it. It looks like somebody just cut a piece of a Star Trek set out and dangled it from a fishing pole.
I mean, how far is that from the mark? Really?
Yeah, Spielberg did 1941 and 1979, and then
Yeah.
he did Raiders in 81. So yeah, you would have had to be able to squeeze it between those two movies.
I think he'd rather have done this than 1941 at this point.
I like
probably.
1941. Am I the only one?
I like it as well. It was not good for his career.
Yeah, because he did Jaws, and then Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and then 1941, and then Raiders, E.T., and Twilight is on the movie. So, and then, yeah.
Twilight's on the movie, starring Vic Morrow.
Which, I mean, if you want to talk about some helicopter stuff, I mean...
Oh, God. Let's not. Oh, I can't believe I'm not the guy that brought that up.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
It's probably for the best.
I think we talk. Look, if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and listen to the last Shark episode. It's from September.
Did we bring it up then too?
Yeah, because Vic Morrow was in the movie.
Yeah.
Let's just say Mr. Morrow had an unfortunate end to his career.
Did he die in a helicopter accident?
Yes. Maybe he did, on camera, and he wasn't in the helicopter.
I don't understand, but it's okay.
What I'm trying to say is that he'll never get ahead in life. You know Austin Powers, right?
Yeah.
You don't recognize that reference?
No, I don't know. I do. I get it.
All right, we need to move on.
Okay. We'll stop talking about gory death. I haven't talked about the girls from Jaws: The Revenge in a few episodes. All right, so that's the whole cast. Anybody have anything to add there?
That was a lot of cast.
That's a lot of cast, and like I said, I picked and chose.
And I have to wonder how something ballooned out like that. I mean, they could have just picked one story and stuck with it, but no, they've got like all these moving pieces, and like you said, there's like 40 more minutes that could be cut into the movie, and I have no idea what was in there.
Yeah, we have so many people in this movie that exist just to be MacGuffins, to just move the story along without ever being the actual focus.
Which they could have just streamlined that into one or two people.
Well, because so Burgess Meredith and his sick wife, like that storyline could have been cut completely from this movie, except that I know Irwin Allen was like, I think it would be great if we had tightrope walkers walk across a bridge over lava.
Agreed.
Like there's no other purpose for them to be in the movie.
But at the same time, Burgess Meredith looked like he took that seriously.
Yeah. He did it. Like he had the form. Like I would have thought he was a real tightrope walker. I don't know if he really could do it or not, but the way he moved looked like when I've seen tightrope walkers. So
acting.
Yeah, He got all acty on us.
Wasn't there a tightrope movie with like J.G. Ellen or something?
With who?
Yeah, he was actually one of the he was one of the flying Walendas. He was doing the big walk between the Twin Towers.
Oh, you're talking about the walk? No, that wasn't the Walendas. That was
one of the Walendas.
That was that French guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that was JGL, right?
Yes.
Joseph. Okay.
Yeah. They could have cut there's a whole affair subplot where the hotel, I don't know, is he a clerk? Would you call him a concierge? The dude with the worst hair ever.
Oh,
yeah. I can't remember his character's name. He was the son of the
engaged
dude from
to
Green
the
Acres.
person that was having the girl that was having an affair with what's his name, the hotel owner,
Yeah.
who was still married to what's her name that the big boss wanted to marry, but she wouldn't leave him.
Are we talking about David
That's
Cassidy's stunt
so
double?
tangled up.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy that. I mean, that guy was the son of the lead actor on Green Acres. I can't remember his name right now.
Arnold the Pig?
No. Mr. Green Acres.
It's the place to be.
Bob
Lewin is alive.
I can hear his voice.
They have the same name, and I can't pull it up right now. Gosh, can't believe I
if only we had a magical box.
didn't bother writing that down.
Like this.
Anyhow, Mona was Irwin Allen's wife, who's known for
Eddie
being
Albert?
in Irwin Allen movies.
Yes,
Oh
Eddie
yeah,
Albert.
so yeah, he's the guy in this movie is Edward Albert, son of Eddie Albert, which usually that goes the other way around, doesn't it?
I mean, it depends.
I don't
Basically,
know.
the way it works with the movies is whoever gets there first. So Eddie Albert made his bones on Eddie Albert. I think he was at first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And so when his son came in, he couldn't also be Eddie Albert, so he would have to pick a different name.
Oh, there we go. Well, you think he would just pick a different name altogether, instead of Edward. But whatever, it worked for him.
So if like Jean-Claude Van Damme's son was also Jean-Claude Van Damme, would be like Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah, in the actors union, you have to pick a different name. Okay, so
about that before.
There is something I showed you guys after we watched the movie, just as a little refresher. There is a movie coming out, I believe, this week on Video on Demand. It is a Chinese finance movie like The Meg called Skyfire.
Which is the exact fucking same movie as this one.
It looks exactly the same as this movie.
With better graphics.
Whoa, with way better effects. I cannot wait to watch it. You know what? This might be the first movie. We might do this next month. I'll just announce it right now. Next month, if it's out, we're doing Skyfire.
Okay.
We are going to do a movie that's, currently
that we're all
on
watching
demand.
For the first time?
Yeah. Because that movie looks absolutely batshit, and it's exactly the same.
Skyfire came out in 2019.
2019, really? No, it's a different movie. It is. That one's a different movie.
Are you sure?
This one's Skyfire 2021.
This one has Jason Isaacs in it and everything.
That's right, from Harry Potter. But that's what Chinese producers do these days. They get as big a name they can from the West to be in it.
No, Josh is right. This one was produced in 2019.
Thank you.
Been sitting on a shelf.
Really? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. It was probably supposed to be released last year over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is a big budget, heavy effects movie where the effects look, I don't know, sort of competent compared to this.
It's got a 5.3 stars on IMDb and a Metascore of 47 for critics. So, I mean,
yeah, so better than this.
Fits into the realm of what we would watch.
Yeah, it was released in China at the end of 2019. It just has not been released in the US.
There you go. Yeah, it probably was supposed to come out here over the summer last year then, I'm guessing.
I would guess.
Let's see. What have I got in my notes here? We could talk some more about. Funniest thing I've heard all week came from Mr. Mike Wycliffe while we were watching the movie, where he was monologuing on behalf of Paul Newman saying, I think I'll start a farm, maybe grow some salad dressing.
I was so sad when nobody said anything after I said that.
I laughed so hard, but I was muted. It was really
yeah, that was
funny.
probably one of the times I wasn't paying attention. I remember that you said it, but I was like doing other stuff, and I was trying to keep my mind activated so I didn't fall asleep in this movie. Like, yeah, it was so bad.
Oh, first thing I have written down is a fun fact, which is a real downer. When William Holden tells the girl in the beginning that she'd be his last wife, because she was counting all his previous wives when he proposed to her.
6 beforehand?
Yeah, she said, what would this be, 7 at the end? And he goes, last. Well, that's kind of true because William Holden, when he made this movie, was extremely sick and dying of cancer.
Oh,
wow. That got dark quick.
Yeah.
He should have hooked up with the Burgess Meredith's wife.
Oh, maybe, yeah, because she was sick too.
Yeah.
Well, she died in the movie. but you don't really care about that because it happens off screen. And
Yeah, we just come across him with her body.
yeah, like nobody even notices that he's gone. They only find him when they're looking for the kids.
Yep.
They're like, oh, the kids are gone. Nobody's noticed that, these other two people have disappeared.
It does make me wonder if that's one of the things, like they split off at some point, and that's one of the things that we don't see.
I would love to get my hands on the longer cut. I do know there's more in there involving.
You want to watch this movie again with more footage?
I would love to. I just want to see what's in it.
What's wrong with you?
Because apparently there's more cockfighting in a brothel. Lots more stuff for Mongo
like to watch
to
cocks
do.
fight, huh?
Yep, love it. Oh, the tsunami effect,
and probably how all the miners or the oil drillers died.
Yeah, we never did see that. I'm sure that happens in there, or he at least sees them from a helicopter or something. In the very beginning. Okay, so you talked about the guy walking forever on the lava field that turns out to be in the crater of the volcano. That's James Franciscus's character. Why is he there at all? He runs a hotel. He's not a volcanologist.
He's on his way to Mordor.
I guess. The volcano observatory looks like a Bond villain lair. Yeah, I don't get that. Oh, here's my note saying Edward Albert. Okay. Why does Hank want to go into the volcano? Hank being Paul Newman's character. Like he says, we need to get down there and check it out. Like, why? They can't just.
Because that's what is.
Because it makes for good film.
I guess. And then they get on the elevator of doom. That for no reason, they have an elevator that gets dangled down into the active vent on an active volcano.
Makes perfect sense.
Of course. It has a window in the bottom so they can see.
For science.
Because, why not just have a telescope on top or a camera or something? But, yeah. It's dumb. Dumb. James Franciscus deserved more after this than The Last Shark. I mean, come on. He's okay in this.
He's as okay as one can be in this.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a scenery-chewing bad guy in this. He also has the most brutal line I may have ever fucking heard in a movie. Like, it just... I don't think I'd ever noticed it before. But when his wife or fiance or whatever she is catches him cheating on her, like, in the next room, she's like, tell me lies, and she's all dramatic, and he just looks at her and says, you should have left with them. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude.
And such an arch delivery, too.
Yeah, that was terrific. I'll give him that. The miniatures suck. Oh, the elevator is ADA compliant. The ramp and yeah. Franciscus has become the mayor from The Last Shark in this movie. You'll be safe here. We know how to take care of it. I've lived here my whole life. Which also leads to more dumb shits. Like from the Roughnecks at the oil rig, where one of them says, well, that thing's been there over 100 years. About a volcano that's been there, for millennia.
I love how they say it's only blown up twice in the last, 400 years.
Yeah, like the 9th century and before that, like, yeah, whatever. It's only blown up that much. So, yeah, of course, build a luxury hotel there. But that luxury hotel looks like it should be in a safe spot. Unless, it launches really slow basketball-sized lava bombs at them from 30 miles away.
Come to the coast. We'll have a few laughs.
Yeah. Red Buttons has the pastiest legs I've ever seen on film.
It's because my legs haven't been on film yet.
Oh, and in the scene where he's jog walking, speed walking, is that what he's doing?
Shaking that ass.
And it's kind of funny. I guess that scene's a lot longer in the extended cut because, Ernest Borgnine's in a full-on suit trying to follow him and getting all sweaty and huffy and puffy. But in that scene, man, it really comes across. Red Buttons is sick of your bullshit. Like, He is just done at that point. That's great. I
I
like that.
really am curious what that storyline was all about too. I mean,
Okay, yeah,
obviously,
they never really go into it. They just say, you should give all those bonds back. And he says he didn't do anything. And then what are they going to do about it? And Ernest Borgnine. Okay, so the movie summary I
But like
read,
in the end, he basically admits to doing it because
Which
he's
I'm
like,
not-
"Give me a 20-minute head start."
but I'm not sure that means he did it. But I'm not sure he didn't either. They don't really go into it. They just say you should give all those bonds
Yeah,
back.
there's so much fucked up things about this movie. I didn't even pay attention to
Again,
that.
40
so-
minutes cut out of it. So I'm sure there's more about that.
I
in
mean,
it.
there were 12 storylines and 47 name-bearing characters.
Oh
so.
yeah, it's just too much. The helicopter when it rescues people from the stable with people out on the skids.
Yeah,
He
we
looks
talked about
out and talks. He says to the guy, "The air's going to get a little turbulent when we're over the lava." Okay, so don't fly over the lava. Just a thought, but not a lot of good helicopter decision making in this movie, as you said. The helicopter.
one thing this movie did give me is I am way less impressed by Captain America holding down a helicopter in Civil War now.
Oh yeah, if it can't carry a couple of people, it's ridiculous.
Well, there was more than a couple of people.
Okay, so when it took off with 2 people on the skids, it was perfectly stable and fine until it, dumped them in the lava. But then when there were 3 people on it, it was completely out of control and one fell off into the ocean. So then there were 2 people, which should have been stable and fine, but it wasn't. So it shook one of those off. And then it still wasn't stable. So it shook the last one off. So it definitely should have been easily controllable. And then they flew it directly into the side of a mountain at full speed.
You can almost hear them singing Rocky Mountain High as they did it too.
Oh, God. Oh, man. We're going all dark tonight. Celebrity tragedy.
Either, so.
Hey, did you guys hear about the little girl from Jaws the Revenge?
Hey, did you guys hear the voice of Ducky died?
Yeah. Weird, huh?
Fuck, it's been too long since we brought that up.
Yeah.
We did that again.
Oh, right.
So I'm sure you have a game for us to play.
I do. I don't have a cool name for it.
All right. Just trying to get back on track here.
Oh, but I was still going to talk about the basketball lava bombs.
No, stop.
Oh, the
That's so bad.
I believe Josh is done.
Oh, the bridge so narrow and rickety, the vehicles wouldn't have been able to cross it if they made it there.
That's because they weren't going the same path.
Another volcano movie called The Devil at 4 O'Clock.
They had to die,
river crossing. River of Lava. It had Frank Sinatra in it.
They weren't expecting to hit that bridge.
Oh, they're in a cave that's lit, super bright, just like Mazes and Monsters. Cardboard volcano with a trash fire behind it. Yeah.
I still
all kinds of
think
You're a trash fire.
Lost.
All right. So game. All right. So
Hey, by the way, it's a cardboard volcano with the year 2020 behind it. That's how we refer to trash fires now.
Oh, okay. I get it. I really do. Okay, let me come up with some scoring here. Let's see. We got Mike playing and we got Josh playing. I got to write this shit down to keep track because I'm in after a white jacket and Coke, man. I am one half sheet to the wind. All right.
Well,
So I talked a little bit earlier. I said I'd mention the writers later, and this is when I'm going to talk about them. The writers for this movie have made great movies and bad movies, both. So I am going to give you the name of a movie, and you just tell me if you think the writers for this movie had anything to do with it.
Oh boy.
Sounds easy, right?
No.
All right. Well, okay. So if you think the script for this is bad, you would think they made bad movies, right? Or if you think the script for this
Oh
is
my
good.
God. We get
Or maybe I'm just messing with you, and every movie they touch turned to gold. Or maybe not. We'll see. And Josh, I'll give you the choice. Do you want to go first or do you defer?
I defer.
You defer. So Mike's going to go first. All right, Mike. Did one of the writers for this movie write the movie Oscar?
Oh.
Sylvester Stallone movie from.
I know that movie very well. I actually really like that movie, and people give me shit for it all the time.
I thought it was funny, but it was also bad.
I'm going to say no because I believe it is actually a remake.
You are correct. They did not have anything to do with Oscar. Mike gets a point. Okay,
Picked
Josh.
the wrong movie to quiz me on because
Yes.
I legitimately like that movie.
Okay, awesome. Hey, we're in your wheelhouse then, right? Usually
far.
I find a movie that you've never seen before or don't know.
Oh, I'm sure that's coming.
Okay, all right. All right, how about, Josh, the movie Over the Top? Do you know this movie?
I don't know it, but we're going with yes.
It's also a Sylvester Stallone movie about arm wrestling and
We're
custody.
gonna go with yes.
You would be correct. Over the Top, written by Sterling Silliphant, who wrote this movie. All right, back to you, Mike. Bridge on the River Kwai.
Oh my god. I
That's right.
so hope that one of them worked on it, but I'm going to say no.
Absolute classic. And
I'm going to say no because that one was early 60s and British, so no.
Carl Foreman wrote Bridge on the River Kwai and also wrote When Time Ran Out.
Oh my god.
Ah,
I love that so much.
All right, Josh, back to you. How about a movie called High Noon?
no.
High Noon. Oh, High Noon. I believe it was another Oscar winner from the 50s or 60s. Was written by Carl Foreman,
No, I was wrong.
who also wrote this movie.
We're still tied, Mike.
Okay, Mike. Let's go with The Guns of Navarone.
I'm going to say yes because I could absolutely see somebody who wrote Bridge over River Kwai being involved with that movie.
Unfortunately, that's incorrect.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay, Josh. Speaking of Navarone, Force 10 from Navarone.
I'm going to go with no.
Carl Foreman, who wrote Bridge on the River Kwai and High Noon, also wrote Force 10 from Navarone.
See, that's dirty.
I like Force 10 from Navarone better than The Guns of Navarone. I don't know. Maybe it's the Harrison Ford stuff. Anyhow, Mike, back to you. Towering Inferno.
I'm going to say yes because that is also an Irwin Allen movie.
You are correct.
Mike is
Josh, The Poseidon Adventure.
Yes, because it's also an Irwin Allen movie or something. I don't know.
You are correct. Mike, Avalanche.
I'm going to say yes because it is also an Irwin Allen movie.
It is, but unfortunately, these two didn't have anything to do with it.
Oh.
Now, see, we got
That's
cocky.
right. I threw a curveball at you there. What else we got here? What else can I use? Oh, well, right now you're tied at 2 apiece. And Josh is the only one with a turn left. So we're going to go with the classic movie Village of the Damned.
Village of the Damned?
Uh-huh.
When was that made?
I think there have been a couple of remakes, but I think it's in the 60s. Maybe the 70s.
I think I might have saw that movie.
So do you think the writer from this?
Creepy blonde children. No,
I'll just say yes. Fuck it.
You'll say yes?
Yeah.
Village of the Damned was written by Sterling Silliphant, who wrote Over the Top and Towering Inferno and Poseidon Adventure, and this movie. So way to go, Josh.
I won again.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Good job.
I literally was just guessing yes or no. I had a 50-50 chance every time. Just trying to guess a pattern.
I don't know. You guessed, the one movie, the Poseidon Adventure or Towering Inferno.
Well, the one I only knew because we talked about it during the movie, and that's why I knew the answer to it.
Yeah, because half this cast, I think, was in the Poseidon Adventure.
Because you talked about how they have the same writers.
Yeah.
And how they work together all the time. So you kind of gave me the answer to that one beforehand.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked neither of them worked on Avalanche, but Irwin Allen may have, I don't know, had other things on his mind when he came to this movie because they were trying to adapt a novel that ended up having nothing to do with what happened in this movie other than there's a volcano in it. Anyhow, Josh, what would you rate this movie out of 10?
Like a 1.3.
Any specific reason for the 0.3 or?
I don't know. I mean, there was a volcano, so that's cool. And I mean, Paul Newman's in it, so that's cool. I mean, Mr. Miyagi's in it, so that's cool. So, I mean, yeah, 1.3 sounds like good.
Okay.
General.
Okay. All right, Mike. How about you?
I'm gonna give it about a 3. I'm
3?
much more lenient than others.
Yeah.
I mean, you are friends with me, so I mean,
It had its moments, and I like schlock, so.
Yeah, same here. I'll tell you what, though. I'm also going to give this movie a 3, but a good solid 2 points of that is Paul Newman.
Yeah, that's fair. He was in a different movie than everybody else.
Yeah, he is. He's like every scene he's in, he's just so earnest and believable, and he's the only one in this movie that doesn't do anything completely stupid except for the weird Willy Wonka elevator descent into hell.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to. Yes, that is what the
elevator at the end of.
I could not place what it was. I knew it was reminding me of something. I could not place what it was.
Like even even the lab they were in reminded me of Willy Wonka, where the elevator docked.
Yeah,
it was like Willy Wonka, Bonneville and Larry. I don't know. It looks 60s industrial in 1980.
Yeah.
Anyhow, giveaway. We still have that Ghostbusters game.
Wow.
Nobody wants it. I don't blame them. It's bad. It's bad.
I'm surprised it hasn't ended up at my house. Like, I'm surprised you didn't just send it to me. We're just like,
it's
screw it.
Going to, but I figure I'd just give it to you next time I actually see you in person. And
so like September?
No, it'll be sooner than that. Oh, wait a minute. No, they're botching the vaccine rollout. So 2024. My New Year's resolution last year for 2020 was not to say anything mean about Ace Ventura 2, and your year has expired. So I think every month I'll find a review from Letterboxd for Ace Ventura 2, and this month's is from a fellow named Turtle, who watched this, and he says, if you think this is good, you need to rethink some of your life choices. 4.5 out of 10.
Well, I mean, I did choose to do a podcast with you where you show me terrible movies, so rethinking my life choices does seem like a thing I should do.
Now, wait, you didn't choose to do this podcast. You wanted to do this podcast.
Like I said, my life choices need to be reevaluated. I willingly was like, this sounds like fun. I really do enjoy hanging out with you guys. It really is fun. The movies aren't fun, but you guys are fun.
I don't know. I genuinely think that we're going to love the movie next month. Skyfire. Holy
yeah, I think
shit.
it'll be fun. I mean, it's going to have a lot of I think it'll be fun. I mean, it's one of those really cheesy Michael Bay explosion type movies. So
it looks like it's going to be like well, you mentioned The Meg. I think it's going to be.
I was going to say, it's going to be like The Meg, only with a volcano.
Yeah, I think if you enjoyed The Meg, I think we will enjoy this. I think
people are going to make really stupid choices, and the Chinese are going to come out of it looking like they're the heroes over greedy Americans.
Well, I mean,
that's their MO for movies these days. So, yeah, they all work together, and all Americans care about is money.
I mean, there's a reason there's a stereotype, right?
I know. All right. Anything either of you two have to add about when time ran out?
I wish the time had run out of this movie about 20 minutes before it did.
I wish that bridge scene had been like half as long.
Oh my God, that's so long.
It takes Paul Newman 25 minutes to cross a damn bridge. It's ridiculous.
It's so bad.
Obi-Wan did it in 2.5 hours. I mean,
Yeah, but
so at one point I had this movie years ago. I swore I'd seen this movie before and I hadn't. This is before I'd seen it 4 or 5 times. But that's because there's another movie about a volcano with Frank Sinatra in it called The Devil at 4 O'Clock that came out in the 60s, where they do almost the exact same bridge crossing, where the bridge is collapsed. They have to cross, the kids on their backs, all kinds of stuff while one guy holds it up. Like, it is ridiculously similar. There's no way they didn't rip that off. The only thing they added to it is, a retired high wire walker with a big bamboo pole.
Maybe that's the whole reason they had to have the retired high wire walkers, so that it wasn't a direct.
They could make it different enough.
Totally a new idea. See?
Yeah. Anyhow, I don't know. I would recommend this movie for people who are drinking. looking for a good movie to just be mad at, because the world gives you lots of reasons these days. But yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Either of you guys have anything to plug or discuss? Plans for the future? Anything you're enjoying right now you'd want to share with the world?
We talked about Cobra Kai earlier, which is really good.
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
enjoyed that. I'm
you're a
looking
fan
forward
of
to watching. I'm looking forward to watching WandaVision. As of the recording of this podcast, I haven't watched it yet. So
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either, but I was going to do it tonight, and then I remembered, oh yeah,
of course,
gotta watch the stupid
the
volcano movie.
Mandalorian season finale was just fantastic. So.
Yeah, phenomenal.
They
phenomenal.
launched WandaVision with the first 2 episodes. So there are 2 episodes to watch, and they're both excellent. So
Great. All right, Mike, you?
no.
No? Nothing you're enjoying or digging that Josh didn't mention?
No, I've done nothing but work recently. So
Oh, okay. I feel you, man. I had a big project.
I've been rewatching Doctor Who too, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
That's been fun.
New Who, old Who, they're both great.
I got up at 3 a.m. just to watch WandaVision and then go back to bed.
Oh man.
Because I knew I wasn't going to get to watch it tonight because I was going to be on here with you guys.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. So.
I may watch it when I get off this thing.
All right. I was going to say, I'm looking forward to watching WandaVision when this is done tonight. And I may have a side project coming up. Don't know. Don't have many details yet. It's still in the planning stages. But when that happens, I'll let you know. And yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap. As always, I love you guys.
Yeah, love you, Josh. Love you, Mike.
Tolerate you guys.
All right.
How sweet.
All right. See you guys next month.
See
Bye,
ya.
guys.
Skyfire.
This episode of You're Gonna Love This or Not was recorded using Zencaster because we're still surrounded by rat lickers. It features Matt dragging Josh down into the dark depths of his movie collection and is released monthly on the Team Geeking family of podcasts. It is produced by Mike Wycliffe, edited by Liz Shunn, and features music by Scott Holmes, who can be found on the Free Music Archive. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or the podcatcher of your choice, and please leave us a rating and review. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.